Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Shape Your Truth podcast. I am your host, Dr. Kamika, and I'm so happy that I'm able to come on here and talk to you guys every week. You know, we're helping each other. You're helping me, I'm helping you, and I'm just so glad to have this opportunity to engage you wonderful people out there. So, today we're going to dive into a topic that's close to my heart. And I always say it's close to my heart because these things we're talking about lately have been close to my heart. We're talking about her truth, all of the hers out there, her truth. And you know, this show is called Shape Your Truth podcast. So it's all about the truth, your truth from your perspective. Okay. And ironically, it's about navigating body positive images across our beliefs across generations. Okay. So shaping your truth today. Okay. It's about her shaping her truth across generations. Okay. So let's get into it. Okay. Let's start with a question from a listener that I had. Okay. And so they asked me, how do you maintain body positivity when faced with negative comments from others? Well, I would like to thank the person, Sarah, for this question. Well, when I deal with body positivity and negativity and all activities, whether it's good or bad, it's challenging it can be challenging sometimes. It's challenging to believe the positive, and it's challenging to get rid of the negative. I find myself, whenever I am complimented or given a positive remarks from people, sometimes 99% of the time, something negative may come to me or something to rebut what they just said. So even the positive things can turn into you dealing with something negative, okay? And it can be challenging, but you got to remember, it's more about them than it is you. When you hear the negative comments about, maybe you shouldn't eat that, or are you sure you want to do that, or things like that about your weight. I don't know, polka dot stripes. I don't think big people supposed to wear those kind of things like that. When you hear those things, it's more about them than you. They've made up the rule. You didn't make up the rule. They made up the rule, and that's their problem. That's how I deal with it. I wear what makes me feel comfortable. I'm okay with how I look, and if I want to do something about it, if I want to change it, I can. If I want to change clothes, I can. If I want to change my size, I can do that. So that's how I look at it. I don't try to pretend like there's no negatives, right? I don't do that. And I don't just say the positive directly to negate whatever negative comment. I don't do that either. But what I do is call it out and speak truth to it. And that's important to me. So, and it's also to get out of those negative areas. Get out of those negative conversations. Get away from those negative people. Surround yourself with positive people. So positive thinkers. Listen to positive things. Take in positivity. And that is how that's what's going to influence you to start changing your thoughts a little bit. It's not going to be something you do overnight. You have years and years and years of compound negativity going in between those ears, coming from all directions. So it's going to be a work in progress. So if you find yourself around a lot of negativity, or you've been taking in a lot of negativity lately, you're going to find yourself thinking negatively as well. So remove yourself and surround yourself with people who are positive. That's one thing you can do, okay? And then you can do some affirmations. If you have a mantra. I remember when I was young, one of my aunts used to make us quote this to ourselves. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. That's what we used to say. That was one affirmation, the earliest affirmation I can remember. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made by God, and so that was something we told ourselves. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. God made me with intention and in all his wonder. He made me with intention, and I was made by his hand. So that kind of boosts your confidence a little bit. And that's one thing. That's one example that you could do of an affirmation, kind of affirmation. And don't be afraid to set boundaries for those negative people. You have to do what is essential for you. Putting yourself first in those type of situations, or having your standard and being okay if you don't you're not interacting with other people. Be okay with it, because your emotional well-being, your progress, being happy, having a full life is more important than, not hurting that person's feelings from not having them around. Okay, so boundaries are very important. You want to separate yourself for those that bring you down. Okay. Now, I got another question here. Here's a young person named Emily. She says she wants to know, what advice do you have for someone struggling to find fashionable clothes in plus sizes? Emily, you come to the right place. This has been my bread and butter. This is what I love to do, and I love to do it at bargaining and discount stores and everything like this. So what I think you have to do first is know that it's tough. Go in it with an open mind, and make a plan. Sit down and say what is possible. Okay, so you look for brands that are complement or cater to plus sizes. That's the first thing you do. You want to look for brands that cater to them when you're making your list. So you're going to have one list. I would say make two lists at the same time. You're going to need two lists. So this side, make a list of the brands that cater to plus size individuals. Okay. And on this side, you're going to list the styles that you like. Do you want to, you are into bohemian style? Are you into new age style? Are you into sci-fi type of things? Are you want to be avant-garde? Do you want to be sporty? Do you like tennis shoes and you like sneakers? And what do you wear heels? Do you like purses? What do you like that is in the umbrella of fashion? What do you like? Earrings, accessories. What do you like? What colors do you like? List the colors that you like. List the colors that you get complimented on a lot. Okay, that look well on your skin, that go with your skin tone. Okay, so like hold something gold next to your skin tone. If it looks really well, looks really good, then that's what you're gonna go with. Your skin is just popping with that gold next to it. That's what you're gonna go with. Or put something silver some next to you and see how it looks against your skin. If it looks, man, that was made for me. Your undertones are probably not as golden or a little, less bright. Okay, you might not have a lot of yellow undertone. And when you put blues on or things like that, it looks good on you. Then you want to accentuate that. Okay, and then if you are one who looks very good in yellows and reds and different things, it just brings out your skin tone. That is one thing you can do to help with your fashion sense too. So you already know what you like. You know what style of things you like. Look up things of style things and learn what they mean. Like if you want a saddlebag, know what a saddlebag is. You want to have a bangle, know what bangles are, know the difference in the lingos and whatever you're trying to pick out. And you don't got to do everything at the same time. But you say you're doing the jewelry, you list the different kind of things and you get an idea of what that looks like. And if you want to purchase something like that. Now, tops, the same thing. There are different styles of cut tops. And you should learn the names of it, because a lot of time we're shopping online these days. So you want to learn the names of those the style types. Let me take a drink. I'm thirsty. What we got here? We got I need a drink of bad. We got a Reese's drink. I'm gonna drink this one. This one I have in strawberry rose. Had to wet my throat a little bit. So find out the names of the style of the items that you want to get. If you don't know these things, don't go into a store blindly. If you don't know what, go with a plan. So you know what you're looking for. So you know what you like. Look online on different style things. When you read the description, it'll tell you what style of top or skirt or anything like that, dress it is. So you can envision what type of dress. You'll know ahead of time what type of dress looks good on you. So it makes it easy when you go to the store. So you buy for your body type. Now, do you have a pear shape? Do you have a empire shape, column shape, or sporty type body? Do you have are you apple shaped? Do you have hourglass figure? You want to look for styles, clothing type styles for pants, dresses, shirts, skirts, shorts that look good on that body type, the body type that you have. And there's some lists that'll tell you how to differentiate what your body type is, and then you go from there. Okay, now on your other list, you made a list of people, of designers and stores that cater to plus size girls. So you're going to look on their stores online, and you're going to compare your list of what you like to what they have. Okay, and you can even do this when you're looking online, from what you like to what they have. And that's where you go from there. And trust yourself. Trust yourself that you know what you like. Because if it's something that you like, that feels the way you like to feel on your skin, the material, you learn the material names that are the type of material it's made of, and you'll learn what you like on your skin. And so it just feels good, If you like something that feels expensive, look expensive, you need to determine these things before you go to the store, before you start your shopping. And or if you're not into that, you just like quantity more than quality, because you're going to mix up things. You know how to do that. Then that won't be as much of a thing. Some people like to buy stable things so that they can mix and match up. Then you want to probably look for something more quality. Okay. But if you're one that you're going to keep changing it up, don't spend crazy amounts of money. It's not necessary. Shop that way. Read descriptions. Read reviews. Read reviews of people who have your same body type or your same measurements when they look in the comments. So that is what I would do. That is a lot, but that is from somebody who loves to do this, to find clothes for plus size women. And that's something that I've done well. So, and then there's also online communities that talk about these kind of things, talk about the fashion. Get in the know. If it's something that you want to do, this is something you need to learn. It's not, you don't get it overnight. You're not just born knowing these things. People took the time to learn about designers and materials and fit and things like that. I didn't just come here knowing this. It was like a study basically for a time. So I essentially know whether I'm in store or not in store, what will look good on me. Rarely do I buy something. It might be something that's iffy, like, let me see. I don't know. It might be, but 9 times out of 10, if I go by that, what I like, what looks good on me, what goes with my body type, the kind of feel I want to have, the level of comfort I want to have, that's restriction, it fits. But if you just go in there ordering a bunch of things that look good on somebody else's body type, the color doesn't complement you, then that's the first thing. That's going to be another thing in the closet that you're just not wearing, that you're not going to be satisfied with. So take this time and do this. This could be a fun activity. And if you need help, reach out to me. I'll gladly help you. I love to do this, and I love to do it from bargain. I could spend hours doing this from a bargain standpoint, and this is how I learned to shop this way. And it wasn't something I learned overnight. I just took my time to wanting to have clothes that look good on me and fit me well became a priority for me. So I learned these things, and I learned about the tailors that are by me are cleaners, the people who could help take things in. I know mine in my area, so if I need to do some tailoring, I know where to go. Don't be afraid to do that either, because you want to look good. Okay, you want to feel good about what you have on, and sometimes that may include getting something tailored. All right. Okay, this other one says So before we continue, I want to hear. So I want to hear from you guys too. So let me know what you feel, how you practice self care, and how you practice um, body positive imaging. How what do you do? Of all we have a rate of people who listen to this from very young to older. So that's why it's across generations because we may have different ideas about style and what looks good. So and we might have seen different representation of what looks good. So how do you maintain in all this society through these times, through the new times, through some more accepting times actually than previous, but I would say less tasteful as well. How are we navigating this? How are we staying positive in our body size and not judging people too in the process? Think about that. Think about that. I'd love for you to share with us. Okay. So don't forget to do that. Share with me. Send a hit me up on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube and let me know what you think. What do you do for self care? What do you do to maintain that body positive image? Because I'm telling you, social media and media in general is trying to knock it out of you. They want you to be negative and they want you to not know how to do these things so that you can keep buying the things. Okay, so it's hard to fight when it's all around you. So what are we doing? Are we working on it? We working really hard. Tell me what you're doing. All right. All right. Personally, I find with my self care though, when I'm trying to stay positive, because self care kind of clears my mind and helps me to stay positive. So what I because that's part of caring for myself. Dumping the junk in my mind helps me get rid of all those negative energies. And I can do that through journaling sometimes. And then I could just brainstorm and write out all the things, right? And then I released it on that paper, and I brainstorm, and then I'll just write everything. I'll draw too. I'll doodle on there, and then I'll write a journal entry about it, and I'll leave it all there. Okay, and I'll be sure at the end to not just find the positive thing, but affirm what is true about all that negativity. Affirm what is true and affirm what I bring to the table, what I'm capable of, and who I belong to. And that's what I like to do with my self care and to keep. It's part of my self care, but it's also part of maintaining positivity and including body positivity. And I also surround myself with people who are trying to do the same thing. I stay in community. I stay connected. And even in the family, I do not want to be around negativity. I already have enough. I fight in between my own ears. I'm not adding to it. So it's the people you surround yourself to. It's the people you engage with. And it all plays a part. And when you're doing these things, it's about nurturing your overall well-being, your mental health, and your emotional health. Because if you don't have those things in check, if you don't have these things prioritized, then you can't really be successful at having a healthy lifestyle because your mind won't be on being healthy. It'll be on those things that are causing you the emotional stress and interfering with your mental well-being. Okay, so that's what I think on that. That's that on that. Okay, so now I got a little teeny bopper, and this was one of the girls from the last my team came on the last episode actually. My girls from the extra team program, and I'm going to tell you what Elisa says. She said, I struggle with comparing myself to others on social media. How can I stop feeling inadequate? Crush my heart. But I remember feeling the same way when I was young. And I would say to Elisa, comparison is natural, especially today. It's digital, it's faster, you get everything faster, it's right in front of you. Okay, so I want you to remember that social media often portrays people in a curated way, okay, in the best way, in a fixed up way, in a polished way, not in their rawest form. Okay, a lot of times it's not in it's in the incubator. It's in a perfect conditions. A lot of times it's not in the real of what's going on. Now there are some that do, they're just real and they expose everything, and the good, the bad, the ups and downs on the camera. But for the most part, you're seeing these people in their best light, literally and figuratively, and they're dressed the best they can. They portray happiness. We're not sure if that's true. I hope so, but it's in a curated way. It's made to fit, okay, what they're trying to accomplish with the messaging, okay? So you got to remember that, okay? So they're kind of like little altered realities, somewhat altered, I would say. Okay, so just like don't be on there a lot. I'm telling you right now, a lot of it is fake. So if this is bothering you, just like with the negative thing, this is some negativity to you. And if it's bothering you, don't get on there so much. Like, you have to be involved in social media, right? Because this is the digital age. But you don't have to consume it. And then when you notice that you're starting to feel that way, turn it off. Give your brain some stillness, okay? Turn it off, okay? Don't take it in so much. Or if people that you're following make you feel this way, don't watch it. Don't follow it, okay? And I know it's easier said than done, but if it's going to hinder you from progression, it's something you got to do. You got to do, okay? So look for positive influencers. You don't have to look for superficial things if that's what bothers you. If they're not real with the way they look, you should find individuals that represent how you want to be, and maybe even where you've come from and where you are, and they've come to the point that you want to be. Those are probably the people that you should allow to influence you. Someone who's been in your shoes, they've overcome, so they can tell you something. They know about it. But sometimes people can't tell you a lot about some situations if they haven't experienced it. I'm not talking about in healthcare. I don't say that, but in most other things, if they're telling you about how to invest, if they're telling you about how to study, if they're telling you, if they have not been successful at that, and how they're going to tell you how to do it. They are only telling you based on what other people say. So you need to go find what the other people who did it said. Okay, go to the source. Okay, and keep up with those people. Focus on celebrating your uniqueness, who you are. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Know that. Stand on that. And this is your journey. It's not everybody else's. You are in a solo race. And the only thing you have looking down on you is the sun. And that's the only thing that can see you in this process. Okay. So don't, and I'm talking about God. It's the only person who can judge you. Okay. So you run in this race, and the only thing that matters that's out there away from you is that sun shining on you, giving you a light to your path. Okay. That's how you think of it. Think of it that way. Okay. Now, I hope that answered my question. So I want to wrap up today. I'm going to do, this is just a little short one. I'm going to make this a part one. I'll do a part two to this. I want to talk about some more. I want to get some more questions, see how I can develop this a little bit more. I'm glad I was interacting with some teens and they had questions. Okay. And I want to make sure that I emphasize in this episode. So remember that your journey to being positive about yourself and positive about your body and taking care of yourself, giving yourself some self-care and all whatnot, that's your blueprint. That's uniquely yours. It doesn't have to match anybody. Now, you can get inferences, but you are not the same person as them. You know, it's not going to be exactly the same way. You know, you can take what is good, what applies, what can fit into your lifestyle, into your upbringing, into your values, into your beliefs, into your system of doing things, or to whatever plan or strategies you have to go forward in your journey, you take what works. And everything may not work for you, but be open to hear about the different things, okay? And know that this whole thing is not cookie cutter, and you are not just another a bump on the log. You are uniquely, fearfully, and wonderfully made. Okay, so think on that. You're not going to be like anyone else. And then, even if you're a teen, if you're a teen or a young adult, or even you're older adult, whatever, we all just navigating this thing. Okay, if you're a young adult and you're an older person like me, or maybe even older, we got to celebrate what we have. And that's a lot of times what we don't do. We just point out what we don't have, point out where we're not at. But we need to celebrate where we are and what we have and what we're doing and what was good, all the wins, no matter how small. What is so crazy about people is that we'll work to get to a point. We won't celebrate it. You made it there. You cried and pleaded all about it. You do barely any celebration before you start trying to get to somewhere else, or complaining that you're not somewhere else, and you didn't even throw the party for where you just got. That you make it small when it was a big deal. Or those little small things, they need to be celebrated. So when you get to the big deal, you just adding to the party, okay? And we can't forget about those things. We can't just push them to the side. We need to make sure we remember and celebrate them. Okay, so celebrate your wins. Know your worth, because you're worth it. You wonderfully made by God. Know that. He's the only one that can judge you. He's a guiding light to your path. Know that. And know you're worthy. You're worthy of that love from God. And you're worthy of love in general. You're worthy of respect. So anybody that wants to say or be negative towards you, remove yourself from that. Stand on who you are and advocate for yourself. That's the key. Advocating for yourself. Knowing who you are. Standing on business on that, okay? Not letting anybody tell you otherwise, okay? So respect yourself. Love yourself. You're worth it. And that's it. Exactly. You're worth it. That's exactly it. You're worth it. And all of that negative talk, they don't get to tell you who you are. They didn't wake you up this morning, so they can't tell you to lay down and die either. Okay, so get up, wipe the dust off, move on, and celebrate every moment of it. All right. Thank you for tuning in again and joining us today on Shape Your Truth podcast. I hope you found this discussion inspiring, empowering, and I don't want you to forget to subscribe and rate and review the podcast for me, please. And join us for our next discussion. We're going to continue on this. We're going to add to this. I'm going to get some more questions, and we're going to nail this all the way down into us and make sure we understand the conversation so that we can apply it. Okay. So until then, stay true to yourself. You're worthy, and keep shaping your truth. Bye-bye.